Chillingham Castle is England's most famous haunted castle. Some even claim it's the most haunted castle in the world. And since we're staying here for the night, we decided to check it out for ourselves.
We've seen how it works behind the scenes, and we've seen some great horror films, but tonight we're going to explore a real haunted castle.
Welcome, viewers, to Chillingham Castle.
We're going to start with the apartment that we're staying in, because the room I'm sleeping in is where the entrance to the pink room is, which is supposedly haunted by the blue boy.
And now on to Chillingham Castle's most mysterious tale. It is that of the blue boy. And the blue boy is often seen in the pink room behind me. In the fireplace, people have seen blue sparks like lightning emanating, along with a blue orb. And a short while after, a blue boy manifests and is weeping and crying. Many people have seen this apparition over many years, but if we go back 100 years when they renovated this castle, it was discovered a hidden room, a room that was blocked up, bricked up, and inside the room were the bones of a small child, said to be a boy. And amongst the bones was a small piece of blue fabric.
This place is proper creepy, Jack. You said with the first room?
Yeah. It's his throne over there, look.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not on it.
It's according to the stories, sometimes really bad things happen in here.
Like what?
There's been reports of people being punched in the chest, people being badly scratched, and by all accounts, there's a spirit, an angry spirit, that resides in here, and if it takes a dislike to you, sometimes really bad things happen.
I think it likes me, because nothing bad's happened. This is really cool, I like it in here.
I can't believe we got the whole castle to ourselves.
No, I can't either.
We're our own ghost hunt.
Isn't it different at night?
Never done anything like this before, ever.
Listen to the clock.
This place is so freaky. Do you know the story about the original Chillingham Castle torture chamber?
No, I know it isn't where it is now. Definitely wasn't there.
There's an oubliette room, but apparently the real castle torture chamber is right beneath our feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I know that it wasn't there, and the reason I know that it wasn't there, because I gather that the original torture chamber had been open to the public, but they had a séance there one night, which apparently was so horrific they had to seal up the original torture chamber to the public.
What's that?
It's the clock.
Do you feel cold?
Well, yeah, I'm in a castle and it's
Very
February.
cold. Come on, let's go now.
Let's go in the dungeon.
This is Chillingham Castle's infamous torture chamber, whereupon John Sage, who was Edward I's chief torturer, conducted his atrocities. Men, women and children were not spared. And indeed, in this place, we have the rack, we have the thumbscrews, we have the cauldron. And many, many devised ways of torture occurred here. John Sage rounded up the men, women and children local to here in his pursuit of trying to find the location of William Wallace. And in extracting that information, the horrors are too grim to replicate here. But after many moons, the prisoners were left here basically to rot. When the soldiers came back and opened the door, to their horror, they could see the scratch marks from the fingernails of the prisoners that died embedded in the stone walls. And here we are at the hanging tree, the yew hanging tree. This is the spot where many a criminal and wayward person was taken by the soldiers of the day and strung up and hung, whereupon they would hoist them up with the rope being placed across the left-hand shoulder where the devil does sit, and they yanked them up until they crushed their vertebrae. The monks sometimes would come down here and take pity on these poor souls, and they would kneel in front of the hanging bodies and pray. But on occasion, the soldiers would come down and grab hold of the monks to string them up and hoist them up to join their fellow prisoners. And now we come to the lady of the house, Mary Berkeley, who you can see behind me in this wonderful portrait. She was married to a Ford Grey, who was the first Earl of Tankerville many moons ago. But unfortunately, their marriage was not a happy one, for he was fond of the ladies. And over many years, many indiscretions took place. Blind eyes were turned until her sister Henrietta turned 17. A love affair ensued between the Earl and Henrietta, and they ran off together, leaving Mary Berkeley alone, waiting for her husband to return, although she never left.